Good morning, children. In today's class, we will discuss one very important topic, and that is oogenesis. The oogenesis is the making of female gamete, and the female gamete form before fertilization. So it is kept under the pre-fertilization event. Whenever there is oogenesis, the cell division involved. Without cell division, oogenesis cannot be completed. Cell division are of two types. Number one is the mitosis and number two is the meiosis. Both the type of cell division involve in the process of oogenesis. Now let me tell you the process of oogenesis step by step. The oogenesis classified into three stages. Stage number one, which is called as the multiplication phase. Stage number two, which is called as the growth phase. And stage number three, which is called as the maturation phase. Let me describe you regarding the multiplication phase. You should know that oogenesis is the process that been started in the embryonic stage of female fetus. Now, in the ovary, in the both of the ovaries, millions of the primary follicles are developed in the embryonic stage. Now, these primary follicles start the cell division, which is called mitosis. As a result of mitosis, the new cells are going to produce, which are called as the oogonia. Now these oogonia are the diploid cells. This making of the new oogonia by the help of mitosis is called as the multiplication phase. Now come to the phase number 2, that is the growth phase. Now the oogonia, which is a diploid cell, enlarges in the size and shape. As a result of the enlargement, the oogonia now termed as primary oocyte. The primary oocyte is also a diploid cell, and the only difference between the oogonia and primary oocyte is the oogonia is a small cell, whereas the primary oocyte is a large cell. Now we are coming to the third stage of oogenesis. The third stage of oogenesis is the maturation phase. Now, you should know that the primary oocyte start meiosis 1, but the meiosis 1 has been started just after birth and it is arrested in the prophase 1. The substage is the diplotin. When the female reached to the puberty, the meiosis 1 is still continue till the end. Now after the attaining of puberty, the meiosis number 1 is proceed and the primary oocyte finally form the secondary oocyte as well as the first polar body. The secondary oocyte is a large, whereas the first polar body is a small cell. The meiosis 1 is arrested in the prophase 1 for 11 to 12 years. After 12 years, when the puberty is has been started, at that time the meiosis 1 is continued to found. And then the primary oocyte divided by the meiosis 1 to form the secondary oocyte. Now the secondary oocyte is a large cell and the secondary oocyte is subjected to ovulation. After ovulation, the secondary oocyte removed out from the ovary and transported to the fallopian tube. In the fallopian tube, the maturation phase is still proceed, and that is of meiosis 2. Meiosis 2 takes place in the secondary oocyte inside of fallopian tube. But there is a criteria that you need to know about the meiosis number 2. Meiosis number 2 only applicable or only found when there is an entry of first sperm inside of secondary oocyte. If one sperm is get entered inside of the secondary oocyte, then only it will perform the meiosis 2. And after meiosis 2, the secondary oocyte produce the female gamete or ovum, as well as the one more cell which is called as a second polar body. You should know that the first polar body produced inside of ovary while the meiosis 1, and the second polar body produced inside of fallopian tube while the meiosis 2. Both the polar bodies, first as well as second, are rudimentary, or we can say they don't have any significant role. Later on they get degenerated, whereas after the meiosis 2 the ovum get produced which participate in the fertilization or syngamy. Suppose there is no fertilization is found or there is no entry of sperm has been reported. In that condition, the secondary oocyte is destroyed as it is. Whenever we study the process of oogenesis along with the different stages and cell division, one more thing that we need to take in consideration, and that is the follicles. Now, what is exactly the follicle? Let me explain the follicles. Inside of the ovary, thousands of granulosa cells found, and all the granulosa cells assemble together to make a follicle. A follicle is nothing but the mass of granulosa cell that found inside of the ovary. So we have to take the consideration of the follicles also along with the different stages of cell division found in the oogenesis. Right from the beginning, we start with the primary follicle. The primary follicle is found or has been produced in the female fetus at the age of 1 month. If we observe the ovaries of the female fetus at the age of 1 month, there are approximately 2000 primary follicles have been produced. And if we observe the female fetus at the age of 5 months, there will be 7 million of primary follicle have been produced. Now, if we observe the ovaries of a female child or female infant at the time of birth, the number of primary follicles get reduced to 4 millions. It means in one ovary, 2 million primary follicles are found at the time of birth. And when the same female infant reached up to the age of puberty, the number of primary follicles are reduced to 60,000 to 80,000 in each ovaries. So as we can see that before the birth, the number of primary follicles were increased up to 5th month. It reached up to 7 million. But at the time of birth, it come down or reduced to 4 million. And at the time of puberty, it even come down less and found up to 60 to 80,000. So this reduction or decreasing of the primary follicle from 7 million to 4 million and from 4 million to 60 to 80,000 is called as a follicular atresia. Follicular atresia is nothing but the degeneration of the primary follicles, and you should know that the primary follicles is nothing but the group of granulosa cells which found inside of the ovary. They get start forming at the age of 1 month of female fetus. Now, after the puberty, out of 500 primary follicles, only one primary follicle is going to develop into the mature follicle as well as the female gamete. Now we have to correlate the stages of oogenesis as well as the follicles. Since from the beginning, the primary follicle which have been produced by a female fetus at the age of 1 month, it is just a mass of granulosa cell. As the multiplication phase starts, the granulosa cells of the primary follicle start mitosis. As a result of mitosis, the oogonia have been produced inside of primary follicles. Now, in the oogonia are kept by the primary follicles. As we know that second stage of oogenesis is the growth phase. Now, there one question that is strike in our mind, that what is the role of these granulosa cells? Actually, when the growth phase start and the oogonia converted to the primary oocyte, as I have told you that oogonia is a small diploid cell and the primary oocyte is a large diploid cell. So how the cytoplasm have been accumulated or collected? So here we have the answer on the basis of the follicular phases. This primary follicle is the mass of granulosa cell that contribute the cytoplasm to the oogonia, so that the oogonia can be converted to the primary oocyte. As soon as the primary follicle, the granulosa cell have been consumed, the new number of granulosa cells surround to the oogonia, and this structure is now called as a secondary follicle. The secondary follicle is the more number of granulosa cells which surround the oogonia, so that the cytoplasmic contribution can be given to the oogonia to convert it to the primary oocyte, because the primary oocyte is 200 times larger than the oogonia. So this collection or this accumulation of the cytoplasm is only possible by the follicular cell. That is why the follicle or follicular stages are important, because they contribute during the growth phase. Growth phase is not possible without the contribution of the granulosa cells or the follicle stages. Now we are moving to the third stage, which is the tertiary follicle. Tertiary follicle can be defined as the accumulation or collection of more number of granulosa cells around the primary oocyte. The purpose is to form the secondary as well as tertiary follicles is nothing but to contribute the cytoplasmic content to the primary oocyte, so that the primary oocyte can be enlarged up to 200 times. Now, when the female has reached to the age of puberty, the primary oocyte divided by meiosis 1. However, the meiosis has been started at the initial age of the birth, but it was arrested in the prophase 1 in the diploting subphase. But after the puberty, the meiosis 1 will be continued to proceed. Now the secondary oocyte is present inside of the tertiary follicle. The tertiary follicle is a mass of granulosa cell which cover or which encircle the secondary oocyte. Soon there will be a fluid filled cavity is developed inside of the tertiary follicle. Now this fluid filled cavity is called as the antrum, and we call the tertiary follicle as Graafian follicle. A Graafian follicle is a combined structure of three components. Number 1, secondary oocyte. Number 2, mass of granulosa cells. And number 3 is a fluid filled cavity which is called antrum. Now in the Graafian follicular phase, the secondary oocyte is discharged out or removed out from the ovary. So this is all about the different stages of follicles that is associated with the different cell division stage of oogenesis that you need to remember. So this is all about the oogenesis topic. I hope the class was fruitful to you. Thank you so much.